Salve. Anyways, this is Curio Miniatures Games Workshop Blood Bowl 2nd edition, and this is Chainsaw Loonies. So I'm going to show you, these are the converted Chainsaw Loonies. This one's a Skaven, and you can see he's got like a little mask, and he's got like the little thing that's been kind of put on there, and you can see, you know, basically I did this when I was like 13 years old, literally. So this is a paint job from when I'm like 13 years old, and you can see he's kind of cool. You know, he's pretty simple, like with this thing, but you can see he's got some detail. You can kind of see like how his head looks and stuff from the bottom. So this is one of the ones that, and this is for people like 13 and over. I mean, I did this when I was like 13, but you want to be older because this thing has like, this is metal. These are not like the plastic resin garbage ones. So the thing could have lead in it. So that's one of my Chainsaw Loonies converted, and then let's show you, this one's probably my favorite one. So let's move him. We'll put him. We'll move him. And this one's my favorite one. That's number 13, and you can see that's a pretty cool looking one. That looks like a lot more like a real, you know, what you might expect from a chainsaw. And that one, he's a catcher, he's a human catcher. I think my friend Paul did that, and you can see the sculpt's pretty cool in that, right? That's a pretty cool one. And he's a human catcher. I was pretty good with the chainsaws. I have a bunch of people's heads, like I was just like looking through the miniatures. So this, again, this is when I'm like 13 years old, this paint job. So it's not like the best paint job, but it's a pretty cool chainsaw, I think. I think this one looks like the best, because it looks like, you can see, it almost looks like a real chainsaw, and this is metal. So this is Blood Bowl 2nd edition, I think. I don't think it's 1st edition, but the miniature. So this is my favorite Chainsaw Looney. That one, I think my friend Paul at the time, or Paul, yeah, I think he's the one that did that one. I painted it though. I did all this painting is mine, as you can tell. You know, I'm not really too good at doing the faces, but you can see how the head looks. That's my my worst part. But this chainsaw is pretty cool. And I think I did a notch, like you can see I have like one notch on it, because that was like, every time I took somebody's head, I think I put a notch on the chainsaw. This is another one. This one's a human lineman, and that's number 14, just as you wonder. So this one, he's got like a goblin head on his. So this one's actually pretty cool, I think. See how there's like the goblin head on there? I mean, that's like pretty cool, I think. You know, and like I said, I did this paint job, and he's got like this. So I have a notch on the chainsaw, so I think this guy must have gotten a head too. And you can see this one's kind of a cool one. See how that is? His is more like, you know, where it's kind of like on the side. And I mean, I'm a fan of Goblin Slayer, so this is pretty cool too. So that's a real metal head on the Goblin. So like I said, I did this when I'm like 13 years old. I didn't have many paints. Even now, I think I have like 13 of them that, like, I don't even think any of them work. But yeah, so that's a pretty cool Chainsaw Looney. And then one more I did, which is kind of another interesting one. So this guy's a human lineman Chainsaw Looney, and this is one of my favorite ones. And just to see the top. See, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got one notch on there. That means he took somebody's head. I have like a few heads in my thing, so, like, you know, it's just like a piece of paper that says like Tom's head or this one's head. You know, it's not like a literal head. So here's another one. This one is a dark elf. So this is a dark elf from my Dark Side Cowboys. I have the whole team, or, you know, at the time I got the team. So I always thought that was pretty cool. But yeah. So that was from the Dark Side Cowboys. That's like a pretty cool one. I didn't even remember I had this one. I didn't really remember this guy, the Skaven. I remembered kind of like most of that one human, the one human catcher. See these plumes? This is metal. This breaks a lot. So like I said, this is really for like adults. Like This is from 1989, this game I think came out. Because I was already playing 1989, because 1990 I remember when campaigns came out. So you can see he's pretty, like I said, I painted him when I was 13. It's a shame because like you can't really see it, but his skull thing has like a little bit better of a feature. I mean, I'll move him in a little bit. But yeah, his skull, if you could see it better. And the chest, that's got some decent detail. But yeah, he's pretty cool. And he's a dark elf, or drow, Chainsaw Loony. So, these are all Chainsaw Loony conversions. I never seen the ones in the store, but you can actually buy them. And this is a Drow Lineman, Dark Elf Lineman, whatever you want to call it. Games Workshop, Blood Bowl 2nd edition. I don't know, I don't think any of these are 1st edition ones, but these are all conversions that we did. Mostly me and Paul at the time. He did a lot of these. He was pretty good at doing them. And they're all metal, so it's actually pretty cool. I have a bunch of Blood Bowl figures. I got a couple teams. I was really good at it. I never really lost. You know, I only play really 2nd edition rules. And so we had Chainsaw Loonies. We had a lot of other cool things. But yeah, I thought this was pretty cool because the Chainsaw Loonies are always one of my favorite ones. And like I said, I got a couple heads. So if you rolled like a certain thing, you'd actually like chop off the person's head, and then there was like a little head, like a little skull counter, and that would be like you'd get it. I mean, I have a few of them. You know, like one's like Mike's head, one's like this guy's head. So I have like at least 3 or 4 of them. Or I think I even have like the number, what number they were. It's just like a little skull and stuff. So, like I said, these are my Chainsaw Loonies. I think the best one is number 13, the Human Catcher. Then number 14, the Human Lineman, because he has like a goblin head on it. It's a little bit different style, but the other one just looks so realistic. And then the Drow and the Skaven look more like chainswords, but it does a trick because you want to at least have it so you know that it's chainsaw for people playing. But yeah, this is my first time showing my miniatures. I started playing the games like when they came out in 88, 89. I'm like 13 years old. This is how my paint job looked from 13 years old. I only had probably 5 paints, because you could see I didn't have many. I had to have like the ones for the base, for the positions. Silver, I think, was Lineman. I think yellow is Catcher. Green is Blocker. Red is Blitzer. And then white was the Thrower. And I don't know what color the kicker got, if they ever did that. I have a couple kickers, but I don't think I have a special base color for them. But yeah, thanks, and take care.